All right, buckle up, everyone, because today we are diving deep into Model Context Protocol.
MCP.
MCP, exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, judging from the sources you sent in, you're ready to move way past just chatting with AI
Right.
and give these models some serious real-world muscle.
Yeah, you've given us documentation,
Oh, yeah.
quick start guides,
Quick start guides, for sure.
even YouTube videos. Lots of enthusiasm around this one.
Definitely. I mean, folks are excited about this. So for anyone who's maybe hearing about this for the first time, MCP basically lets AI reach out from its little digital bubble
Yeah.
and interact with, stuff in your world.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's so cool is that it's like your AI gets a toolbox.
Ooh, I like that. A toolbox. So
Okay.
we're not just talking about spitting out text anymore. We're talking about like interacting with files.
Right, searching the web,
Browsing the web, yeah.
all that, even controlling a web browser. There's examples in these sources that could, totally change how you work every day.
For sure. And one thing that really stood out to me from, I think it was one of the YouTube videos you sent, was this idea of doc strings.
Right.
And I got to admit, the first time I saw that, I was like, okay, what is going on here?
Yeah, the say hello tool.
Yeah, the say
They're
hello.
like, what is that all about?
Exactly. Like on the surface, it seems super basic.
Right.
But then you realize, whoa, wait, this is actually pretty profound.
Yeah, because you're actually teaching the AI how to use tools.
Right.
And the doc string is just like, imagine like a little instruction manual
It's the manual.
attached to every tool.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the AI can actually read that.
Okay. So it's not like we're pre-programming every possible action.
Mm-hmm.
The AI is actually figuring out how to use the tool based on this doc string. Pretty cool. Pretty
And that's
intense.
how something simple, like you were saying, say hello,
Yeah.
becomes really powerful.
Right.
Because now it's not limited to what it was programmed to do.
It can adapt, yeah. And that's way more dynamic than I initially thought when I first saw it. So,
Sure.
so to make all this magic happen, there's this three-part architecture that, we should probably lay out here.
Right. Client, the server, and the LLM.
LLM, big brain stuff. So the client, that's me, the user, right? Sending requests.
Right.
The server is kind of like the central hub where all these awesome tools are hanging out.
Right.
And then the LLM, that's where the AI lives. That's Claude in this case.
Right.
And it's figuring out which tool to use
Right.
based on what I'm asking for. So it's kind of this elegant little dance between all these pieces, right? Okay, I think I'm starting to get the picture here.
All right, good.
But let's get into some code because one of your sources was a Python quick start guide.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was like, all right, we got to talk about this. Because one of the things that's really interesting to me is how MCP makes this whole thing so approachable.
Yeah, you don't need to be some kind of, deep learning expert
Right.
to start building with this.
Exactly. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of the code, there's one question I have that I think a lot of people might be wondering.
Okay.
How does the AI know when to use a tool? Like, how does it know, okay, I need a hammer for this, not a screwdriver?
Well, they're actually trained to look for these tool use signals.
Tool use signals, okay.
And so when they're reading your request, they see certain things and think, okay, I can't do this internally.
Right.
I need a tool.
Gotcha. So it's not just randomly trying to, like solve a math problem with a web browser.
Right.
It's actually understanding its own limitations and
Yeah.
knowing when to call for backup.
Exactly.
Pretty clever stuff. And this is where things get really interesting because we're not just talking about AI spitting out text anymore.
Right.
We're talking about AI that can actually de-do things.
Douse the world.
Out in the world, yeah. And that brings us to something that I think probably caught both of our eyes when we were looking at the source's file system control.
Yes. The file system MCP server.
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff.
It's like giving your AI the keys to your computer.
Okay, I like where this is going.
And you can say, read this file, list what's in this folder,
Uh-oh.
search my computer for this keyword.
Okay, stop. You're speaking my language now. My downloads folder is a disaster.
Right.
I could just tell my AI, hey, find that presentation on MCP I was working on last week.
Exactly.
Boom, done. That's amazing.
Yeah. Imagine never having to dig through folders again.
Yep. It's a dream come true, truly. And I know our listeners sent in a Python quick start guide,
Right.
so they're at least a little techie.
Right.
This level of file system control has to be like a programmer's dream.
Totally. Think about, automating all those tedious tasks.
Oh, yeah.
Searching for code snippets, looking at log files,
Yeah.
compiling your code. Like, you could do so much with that.
Free up your brain for the fun stuff. Okay, so we've got file organization superpowers, but that's not all, right? We also saw some stuff about controlling a web browser.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into like sci-fi territory here.
Yeah, it's like the Puppeteer MCP server
Puppeteer, okay.
lets your AI basically become a puppet master
Okay.
for a web browser,
Wow.
visiting websites, filling forms, all sorts of things.
Hold on. So you're telling me I could ask my AI to like book a flight for me,
Exactly.
and it would actually go to the website, fill in all the details,
Right.
compare prices, boom, I'm done.
Yeah, it's like having a personal assistant.
Right, who can do all their stuff online for you. This is insane. This is insane.
And it's not just practical things. Remember that YouTube video creator Magic?
Magic, yeah.
They were actually using an MCP server to have Claude, the AI, watch their own content.
Oh my God, the meta levels here.
It's like AI understanding itself.
Right. But then what they did with it, that's what's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they were generating summaries, like real-time,
Right, pulling out topics.
identifying topics, suggesting improvements. It's like having an AI co-creator
Right.
that can, like, give you an objective eye,
give you feedback.
give you feedback on your stuff.
Right.
That's pretty awesome. And I bet you could use it for all sorts of creative tasks, right?
Oh, yeah. Research trends.
Research trends, yeah.
Find inspiration, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got AI organizing files, browsing the web, watching YouTube. We are just scratching the surface here.
And the best part is you're not limited to those pre-built tools.
Ooh!
You can actually build your own custom tool.
That's some tools.
Right.
Now we're talking. But creating a custom server, that sounds a little intimidating, to be honest. Where would someone even start with that?
Well, there's tools like Cloudflare workers.
Cloudflare workers? Okay.
Make it really easy to, deploy your server.
Yes.
Very user-friendly.
Okay. I remember that video where they, like, spun up a server in minutes.
Right, with the say hello example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be, like, a hardcore coder to get into this.
Right.
And even better, they have a free tier.
Right, you can just tinker.
You can tinker. All right, so building a custom tool, though, still, I mean, walk me through the process here. What does that actually look like?
Well, at its core, you're defining functions, which are just little blocks of code that do a specific thing.
Right.
And you're writing those doc strings that we were talking about.
The doc strings come back.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you're saying, like, here's what this tool does.
Right.
Here's how to use it.
Gotcha. So if those say hello tools are like the basic building blocks,
Right.
what are some examples of, like, more complex tools someone could build?
Well, imagine, like, a tool that can access your calendar.
Okay,
And
yeah.
automatically schedule meetings.
Right.
Or a tool that pulls data from your database
Right.
and generates reports.
All right. Now we're cooking.
Right.
I mean, I could see how you could build some really powerful specialized tools with this.
Yeah.
And I bet the creative possibilities are, like, endless.
Right. Yeah, analyze music, maybe suggest different harmonies,
Yeah.
generate design variations.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
Right.
We've got AI organizing files, browsing the web, even, like, making creative suggestions. It's like we're just barely scratching the surface here.
Right.
So in this first part of our deep dive, we've covered the basics of MCP, how AI learns to use tools, even touched on custom tool development. But I think it's time to move on and explore some real-world applications.
Okay.
And I'm particularly curious about how those web browsing tools work in practice.
Yeah, that's a great place to pick up next because that's where it gets really interesting.
Browsing. That's where the magic happens.
And magic happens, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, so like we were saying, web browsing with MCP, that's where things get really interesting. That's where we see this huge potential unfold. It's like, imagine your AI can not only access everything on the internet, but actually interact with websites just like a person would.
Okay, yeah, that's where the wow factor really kicks in. But I gotta say, the thought of my AI, like, browsing the web on its own, it's a little, I don't know, kind of creepy, to be honest. Is it really that seamless? Like, can it really handle all the complexities of different websites and, actually interacting with stuff?
I get it. It sounds a little unsettling maybe, but that's what's so impressive about these web browsing tools. They're built on these sophisticated frameworks like Puppeteer.
Right.
And what that lets developers do is actually control a real web browser through code. So it's like having a little robot mimicking what a human would do on the web.
Oh, okay. So it's not just blindly clicking links.
Yeah.
It's like actually seeing the page,
Right.
understanding the structure. That's pretty wild. But let's get specific here. What are some actual examples of what this web browsing power can do? I remember one of the YouTube videos you sent mentioned something about booking flights.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, imagine this. You tell your AI, book me a flight to Hawaii next month.
Okay.
And it goes to work, opens your favorite travel website, plugs in the dates, your preferences, compares prices, and then boom, presents you with the best options.
So I can go from, like, I need a vacation
Mm-hmm.
to having my flights booked just by talking to my AI.
Exactly.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. That's the kind of time saving I'm all about. But, I mean, booking flights, that's just one example. I'm guessing this could be used for, like, all sorts of online stuff, right? Like, what about shopping? Could your AI, like, browse for products, compare prices, even make purchases?
Oh, totally, yeah. Think of it this way. Any task you currently do online, ordering groceries, paying bills, managing investments, all that stuff, could be automated with MCP and these web browsing tools. It's like having a personal assistant who's, super efficient at all the boring online chores.
Like, we're on the verge of this, like, new productivity revolution or
Right.
something. But let's not forget about the creative side of things, too. Remember that Creator Magic video where they were using MCP to analyze YouTube content? That felt like a whole other level.
Oh, yeah, that's a perfect example of how MCP can be used for more than just, practical tasks. In that video, they had Claude, the AI, watching and analyzing their own videos.
It's like AI reacting to itself.
It is, it's very meta, but what's even cooler is what they did with that analysis.
Right.
They were generating summaries, identifying key topics, even suggesting ways to improve their videos, all based on what Claude was seeing.
It's like having an AI co-creator
Exactly.
who can give you, like, totally unbiased feedback and help you get better at what you do.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. And I bet you could use it for, like, all kinds of creative research and inspiration too, right?
Yeah, like you could tell it to research trends in your field,
Right.
gather inspiration for a new project, even generate ideas based on what's popular online.
Okay, now I'm really starting to grasp the potential here. It's not just about automation, it's about AI actually taking part in the creative process.
Yeah.
But, with any powerful tool, there's always that question of, like, what about the downsides? What about the risks?
Yeah, that's a really important point. We have to think about the ethical side of things.
Right.
Giving AI access to the web, that raises questions about data privacy, bias in the algorithms, even the possibility of, unintended consequences. We have to be careful, have those conversations about responsible AI development.
It's not just about can we do it, it's should we? And how do we do it right,
Exactly.
So I'm glad we're acknowledging that side of things too. But even with those cautions, I'm still super excited about the possibilities. It feels like we're on the edge of something really big.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time. And one of the coolest things about MCP is that it's not just limited to those pre-built tools. You can actually create your own.
Custom tools, yeah. Yeah,
Huh.
we touched on that a bit earlier, but I want to dig deeper into that now. Like, what are some examples of custom tools that people might build with this?
Well, remember those say hello examples.
Right.
Think of those as the building blocks. You can combine those, extend those principles, and create something really powerful and specialized.
Right.
Like imagine a tool that analyzes your code and suggests improvements automatically,
Right.
or a tool that generates marketing copy based on your company's style guide.
Okay, now we're talking. I can see how you could build tools that are, like, perfectly aligned with your workflow and what you're trying to achieve. But let's say our listener, who's obviously interested in this, wants to start building their own tools. Where do they even begin?
The great thing about MCP is that it's actually pretty easy to get started, especially with platforms like Cloudflare Workers.
Right.
It makes setting up those servers really straightforward. And there are so many resources available online, tutorials, sample code, online communities.
Those forums and Discord servers are gold mines.
Yeah, it's like having this global team of AI enthusiasts who are, there to help you along the way. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to create the next big MCP tool.
That's a cool thought. Okay, so we've talked about all these awesome possibilities with custom tools, but I'm also curious about, like, the bigger picture here. What are some of the emerging trends or developments in the MCP world that you're keeping an eye on?
One thing I'm really excited about is the rise of these specialized MCP servers that are tailored to specific industries or, areas of expertise.
Oh, okay. So instead of just having, like, general web browsing tools,
Right.
you'd have tools that are, Like deeply integrated with a certain field.
Exactly. Like imagine a server that's specifically for finance
Okay.
with tools that can access market data, generate financial reports, maybe even execute trades,
Wow.
or, a server for healthcare
Right.
that can analyze medical records, help with diagnoses. I think we're going to see an explosion of these specialized tools as MCP becomes more widely used.
It's like instead of having a general purpose computer, we're moving towards these super specialized devices that are like masters of their domain.
Yeah, exactly. And this specialization, I think it's just going to keep accelerating. We'll see tools for everything, education, research, even creative fields like music and art.
It's like the Wild West of AI innovation right now. New frontiers popping up every day. But in all this excitement, it's important to step back and ask, like, what does this all mean for the average person?
Right?
How is MCP going to actually impact our daily lives?
Yeah, and that's a great question because that brings us to the heart of why MCP is so potentially revolutionary.
Yeah, it really is about, how we think about AI going forward. We've been talking about these really cool possibilities with Model Context Protocol, like controlling our files, having AI browse the web, even analyze stuff on YouTube. But how do we connect all of this back to you, the listener?
Right, because MCP isn't just a cool tech demo.
Mm.
It has the potential to really change how we interact with information and technology in a big way.
It really does, and it's about empowering everyone to use AI.
Not just the coders.
Yeah, not just programmers. This is about bringing the power of AI to everyone's daily life. Okay, so paint a picture for me. What would this look like for someone who's not, a coding whiz? How could MCP make their work, or even just their life, easier, more efficient, more creative?
Okay, well, imagine a world where you can manage your entire digital life with just simple voice commands.
Yep, yeah.
You could say, find that recipe I saved last week, and it would search your computer, the web, and pull up exactly what you need.
Oh, great.
Or schedule a meeting with my team next Tuesday, and it would handle everyone's calendars, send out invites, reminders, the whole 9 yards.
So no more digging through folders or like endless email chains. Just tell your AI what you need and it gets it done.
Exactly. And because MCP is so flexible, you can tailor it to how you work.
Right.
Like, let's say you're a writer, you're hitting that writer's block.
Yeah.
You could tell your AI research current trends in science fiction, and it would go out and find articles, summarize them, analyze themes, and maybe even spark a new idea for your story.
That's like having an AI muse, basically.
It is. And it's not just for creative stuff either. Think about those mundane online tasks like paying bills, booking appointments, managing your finances. All of that could be automated with MCP.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, I'm convinced MCP is the future. But let's get practical for a second. We've talked about how accessible this technology is, but for someone who's just starting out, what are some concrete steps they can take to explore this world of MCP?
Well, the first step is just to explore. Go back to the resources you sent us, the documentation, the quick start guides, those YouTube videos. They're a great place to start understanding the fundamentals.
Those say hello code examples, those are perfect for dipping your toes in.
Yeah, those are great. And once you have a grasp of the basics, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Try building a simple tool, maybe a custom calculator or something that fetches your latest social media updates.
I love that. Learning by doing. Plus, there's a whole community out there to help you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those online forums, the Discord servers, they're gold mines for connecting with other developers, getting help, finding inspiration. It's like having a global support system of AI enthusiasts cheering you on.
That's a great way to put it. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listener with one last, thought-provoking question. We've explored the huge potential of MCP, but like zooming out a bit, how do you see this technology shaping the future of AI and, our relationship with AI?
That's a really big question, and I think MCP represents a fundamental shift in how we view AI. It's not just a passive tool anymore. We're moving towards AI as a partner, a collaborator in solving problems and exploring creative ideas.
So it's not just about AI doing things for us, it's about AI working with us.
Right, to achieve our goals, to open up possibilities we never thought of before. It's almost like AI is becoming an extension of our own minds.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And as MCP keeps evolving, I think we're going to see this even more seamless integration of AI into our lives.
Absolutely. It'll become less of a separate thing and more of this invisible force that helps us be smarter and live better.
That's an exciting future to imagine. And I think this is just the start of the MCP journey.
Oh, yeah. There are so many possibilities out there, so many problems to solve, so much creativity waiting to be unlocked.
And the exciting part is that you, the listener, are now part of this journey. You have the knowledge, you have the tools, and you have the power to shape the future of MCP and AI. So go out there, experiment, create, and let's see what amazing things we can build together.
I love that.
That's it for our deep dive into Model Context Protocol. I hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and maybe even a little bit empowering. And remember, the journey doesn't stop here. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI. Until next time, happy coding and happy creating.